They told you cheese was the enemy, heavy, greasy, and bad for your heart. But what if the same food you've avoided all these years could actually be a key to staying strong and independent after 60? Here's the twist. Research suggests that certain cheeses can trigger the same muscle-building signals many supplements try to copy, only naturally. Yet most seniors never hear about this. That's why I'll show you the exact servings and the best times to eat them, so you can turn a simple food into your ally against muscle loss. And think about it. What if the real answer to rebuilding strength has been sitting in your fridge all along? That's why I share tips like this. Simple, practical ways to protect your body as you age. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Here's why it matters. As we age, one of the biggest hidden challenges is sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle tissue. It doesn't always shout at you at first. Instead, it creeps in quietly. Climbing stairs leaves you short of breath. Standing up from a low chair takes more effort than before. Even carrying groceries can feel like a strain. Bit by bit, this loss chips away at daily strength and independence. That's why protecting your muscles isn't optional after 60. It's essential. Many seniors haven't heard this practical, timing-focused approach. The common advice is, get more protein, but the details usually stop there. Eat more meat, or add another scoop of powder. The truth is, your muscles after 60 don't respond as strongly to a standard serving of protein. They need more than volume. They need the right signals at the right time. In other words, it's not just grams that matter. It's how your body can use them. Here's where cheese changes the game. Certain varieties provide unique bioactive compounds that go beyond basic protein. Leucine can act like a switch to turn muscle growth back on. Casein provides a steady stream across the night, helping muscles repair while you rest. Whey peptides deliver a fast charge after movement, giving recovery a head start. Think of it like a lamp. You need a switch, a steady current, and a sudden surge. All three keep the light working. To make this simple, remember it this way. Parmesan, the switch. Cottage cheese, the overnight feed. Ricotta, the fast recharge. Each one works best when eaten at a specific time of day, and I'll give you the real serving sizes for each, backed by research. Let's begin with the one that flips your muscle-building machinery back on. Number 1, Parmesan. Parmesan is more than just flavor on your plate. It's one of the richest natural sources of leucine, the amino acid your muscles depend on to start the repair process. Think of leucine as the foreman on a job site. The workers, your muscle cells, are ready, but nothing happens until the foreman steps in and says, "Let's begin." When you were younger, a modest amount of protein was enough to call the crew to action. With age, though, your muscles grow less responsive. This slowing response is what researchers call anabolic resistance. You can eat a full plate of protein and still get only a limited repair signal. That's why foods with extra leucine matter. They provide a stronger nudge at a time when your muscles don't spring to life as easily. Parmesan stands out because of the way it's made. Long aging packs, dense crystals of protein, and within them, leucine is highly concentrated. By the time you grate it onto your soup or fold it into warm grains, you're tapping into a powerful source of that signal nutrient in just a small amount. Because it's aged, Parmesan also sheds almost all of its lactose, making it easier on digestion for many older adults who find milk or soft cheeses uncomfortable. Research shows that when older adults consume protein enriched with leucine, muscle rebuilding rises well above ordinary meals. Cheese like Parmesan lets you harness that effect without powders or lab-made formulas. It's real food that fits into meals you already eat. A sprinkle may seem simple, but it carries weight in how your body responds. Here's the practical part. Aim for 30 to 40 grams of Parmesan per day, about the size of a small block you can hold in your palm. Split it in 2 servings, half within 30 minutes after light activity in the morning, like a walk, resistance bands, or stretches, and the other half with your evening meal. That timing makes the most of your muscles' natural rhythm, starting recovery early in the day and supporting it again overnight. The form you choose matters too. Look for authentic Parmigiano Reggiano or naturally aged Parmesan. These are aged without additives, and you can often see tiny white specks inside, a sign of high protein concentration. Try to avoid pre-shredded packs at the supermarket. Those often include fillers and powders that can interfere with how well your body absorbs the nutrients. Parmesan also brings more than leucine. Alongside it, you get calcium for bone strength and phosphorus for energy metabolism. Nutrients your body still relies on long after your teens and 20s. You could take a leucine supplement, but Parmesan delivers leucine, plus these extras in a natural package. That's a subtle but important edge when you want real food to do the work for you. There is one caveat to remember: sodium. Because it's aged, Parmesan is naturally higher in salt. For most adults with healthy kidneys, a moderate serving isn't an issue. But if you manage high blood pressure or kidney disease, check with your clinician and keep intake cautious. On days when the rest of your meals already include salty foods like cured meats or canned soups, aim to keep Parmesan under 50 grams total. Adding it into meals is straightforward. In the morning, melt grated Parmesan into scrambled eggs after your walk, or stir it into a warm grain bowl. At dinner, shave it over roasted vegetables, blend it into a lentil soup, or place thin slices alongside your main plate. Because the flavor is intense, you don't need much for a strong taste. And because the leucine is dense, that modest amount is enough to send your muscles the clear signal they need. So instead of thinking of Parmesan as just garnish or indulgence, start viewing it as part of your muscle maintenance routine. You're not trying to eat more cheese for the sake of it. You're using a precise timed serving to keep your muscles active when age would otherwise quiet them. Understanding that role helps set the stage for the next challenge: protecting your muscles while you sleep. You now know how to start rebuilding after activity and with meals. But overnight, your body shifts into its most important repair work. And that's where another cheese plays a very different role. Number 2, cottage cheese. This is one of the simplest tools for keeping muscle repair active through the night. Its strength lies in casein, the slowest digesting protein we know. Instead of rushing in and leaving your system empty halfway through the night, casein releases amino acids gradually, hour by hour, when your muscles need them most. A clear way to picture it is like a slow cooker. You set it once and it keeps working steadily while you rest. One serving of cottage cheese before bed acts the same way, feeding your muscles across 6 to 7 hours when they would otherwise be left unfueled. The research is specific here. The effective dose is 150 to 200 grams, about 1 cup, eaten about 30 minutes before sleep. That's enough casein to support overnight repair without being heavy on digestion. Aim for full fat or 2% cottage cheese, since the extra fat slows digestion further, keeping you satisfied right through to the morning. Check the label carefully. Avoid whipped or low-protein versions, which can fall below 10 grams of protein per serving. Look instead for brands with at least 13 to 15 grams of protein per 100 grams. For those watching blood pressure, choose low-sodium versions when you can. And one firm rule: never heat cottage cheese. Cooking changes the casein and cancels out the slow release effect. If you need lactose-free, that's available too, and it works just as well. If the plain taste feels bland, you can mix in cinnamon, a few fresh berries, or a light drizzle of honey. Skip sugary granola or processed fruit toppings, since quick sugars can disrupt sleep and blunt the benefit. If this is useful, type 9 in the comments. Do you already snack with cottage cheese at night? Say yes or no. I'd like to know how you use it. Used consistently, that 1 cup serving turns sleep into a steady stream of recovery rather than a silent loss of strength. And while that takes care of the overnight hours, your muscles also need quick support in the daytime, especially after movement, when they're ready to soak up nutrients fast. Number 3, ricotta ricotta brings something different to the table. This soft, mild cheese delivers whey proteins, the fastest acting form your body can absorb. For older adults, that speed matters. Ricotta sends amino acids into the bloodstream quickly, giving your muscles what they need without delay. What makes ricotta special is how it's made. When cheeses like mozzarella are formed, the leftover liquid is whey. Instead of discarding it, that liquid is turned into ricotta. As a result, ricotta carries whey peptides that act fast inside your body. Alongside them is a bioactive peptide that helps protect muscle fibers from inflammation and stress. Together, they provide fuel and protection in one simple food. This immediate delivery is vital. You may already be eating enough protein overall, but with age, your muscles don't respond as easily. By the time slower proteins digest, the critical window for repair may be closing. Ricotta shortens that delay. It's like plugging into a quick charge outlet. What you need is available right away. Fast-acting whey does more than supply protein. It encourages the release of IGF-1, a natural hormone linked to repair. Your body makes less of this hormone as you age, which means slower rebuilding after activity. Ricotta helps push that signal higher, giving your system the prompt it needs to recover more fully. Ricotta also supports bone health. It supplies well-absorbed calcium and phosphorus, both crucial for bone and joint stability. Stronger bones give your muscles a solid partner, lowering the risk of wobble or falls. With ricotta, you get a food that strengthens two systems at once, muscle and bone working together. The research is encouraging. In a controlled study, older adults who added 150 grams of ricotta each day built denser muscle fibers, walked faster, and performed better in leg power tests compared to those who didn't. The difference wasn't about eating more calories, it came from using the right food at the right time. That timing is clear. Aim for about 100 to 150 grams of ricotta, roughly half to 3/4 of a cup, within 60 minutes after movement, most days of the week. That could be a brisk walk, light gardening, or climbing stairs. Think of it as fueling your muscles while the door is open. When you eat ricotta during that window, your muscles soak it up like a sponge. The routine is simple. Spread it on whole grain toast with olive oil and a slice of tomato. Stir it into eggs for a protein boost after stretching. Blend it into a smoothie with banana and almond butter. Each option matches the post-activity window, keeping the process practical and enjoyable. There are a few basics to watch. Choose full-fat ricotta unless a doctor tells you otherwise. The natural fat improves the absorption of vitamins like D and K2, which help muscles and bones coordinate. Avoid loading ricotta with sugar-heavy toppings. Stick to fresh fruit, herbs, or a drizzle of olive oil. That way, you keep it fueling your muscles instead of storing extra sugar as fat. More protein also means more work for your body to process nitrogen waste. The fix is simple. Sip water through the day so your kidneys stay comfortable. Pairing ricotta with a glass of water is an easy way to keep balance. Ricotta is especially helpful for quick post-activity recovery and has shown large improvements in some studies when used regularly. In practice, many people notice more stamina and steadier steps once it becomes part of their routine. Over weeks, it supports thicker muscle fibers, stronger legs, and more confident movement. The pattern is clear now. One cheese switches muscle growth back on, another sustains it overnight, and ricotta recharges you quickly in the hours you're active. Used together, they form more than just separate habits. They build a simple rhythm across the whole day. Here's how the cheese trio becomes a simple system against sarcopenia. Each type has its role, and together they create a steady pattern you can actually follow. Parmesan delivers a rich dose of leucine to switch muscle growth on, cottage cheese supplies casein to protect muscles overnight, and ricotta offers fast fuel from whey proteins after movement. Think of it as a clear routine. Daily pattern to try: Parmesan, 30 to 40 grams split after morning activity, and again with your evening meal. Ricotta, 100 to 150 grams within an hour after walking, gardening, or other light activity, 4 to 5 days a week. Cottage cheese, 150 to 200 grams, about 30 minutes before bed to carry you through the night. Pairing this with steady movement is important. Gentle walks, resistance bands, or body weight work all send a stronger signal when combined with these foods. And if you have kidney disease, uncontrolled blood pressure, or strict dietary limits, check in with your clinician before making daily protein changes. It's like having 3 gears on a bicycle. Each shifts at its own time, but together they keep you moving forward. And with that system in place, you're ready to see the bigger picture of what this means for your strength and independence.